Hey guys, it's Krista here with Inky Fairy Designs for the Blitsy creative team, and today I have a really pretty project for you, combining some of my favorite products from the Prima marketing creating in faith collection. I'm using the rub-ons, and my favorite medium right now, the one that I keep being drawn back to, and that is watercolors. I picked up some of the Daniel Smith watercolors and really love them. They're gorgeous, and you'll see why. Have just a flat canvas here. I think it's like 9 by 11, and I am putting some golden acrylic ground, or not acrylic ground, absorbent ground, and this is going to prime my surface to receive the watercolor better than the acrylic gesso that it was primed with already, that it comes primed with. So this is the absorbent ground, and it'll make any surface that you're working on ready to receive watercolors. So now I've got some clean water, and I'm just doing a wash of water onto my canvas, not the whole thing, kind of just centering, or can't talk, yeah, kind of just focusing on the center. And I'm using a flat brush, like a wash brush, and I ended up just continuing to use this because of the large surface. It was really fine. This color right here is called Moon Glow, and it is absolutely gorgeous. This is the color that, like, if you like purples and teals and you want to just get one color to try, the Daniel Smith, get this color. You can see when I pull off the color, and it's kind of hard to see, I should have zoomed in, but you can see some of the blue that comes out when you pull off some of the pigment, and that happens with some watercolors because the way they create the colors is by mixing colors. You create colors by mixing colors, and sometimes one of the beautiful things about watercolors is that you'll see those colors come out when you pull off some of the pigment, or even when you just draw out more water. So I don't know, watercolors they're just such a fun medium to work in, and don't be afraid of them. One of my favorite ways, and probably my only way of working with them, is to create these backgrounds, just like these washes of watercolors. And I stick to some colors that I know are going to blend together nicely. So on this palette, I'm sticking with like the blues and the purples and maybe a little bit of teal, bringing in a little bit of that green. But mostly, here I am pulling in some of this darker blue with that moon glow, and I'll have all of the colors listed in the description below, as well as the Blitsy blog. And you can see sometimes I tilt up my canvas board and I kind of lean it up against my tripod, and what this does is this moves that watercolor so that it blends and it kind of drips on its own. And it's just a really cool way to, instead of working on just kind of flat surface, tip up your paper or your canvas and allow those drips to fall where they might, organically, or you can kind of pull them down a little bit if you want to drip in a certain spot. You can definitely kind of manipulate it a little bit, but I generally just let it drip where it drips. I love the free flow nature of watercolor. It kind of allows me to let go of some of the perfection that I struggle with, and I think that's why watercolor mediums have come into my life, is to give me that, and they kind of force me to let go of that kind of perfection that I have on myself, or if I'm using other mediums, because they just kind of have a mind of their own, and I think that really is the beauty of it. You can certainly work the medium much more than I do and create different things with the watercolors, but this is just my favorite way of using them, is to create these really loose, flowing backgrounds. And so, yeah, I'm just playing with a few. I think I have 3 colors, maybe 4, different colors that I'm pulling off of my palette, and those are, I just have like this simple plastic palette because the Daniel Smith watercolors that I'm working with they come in the tube, and so I just, you know, squeeze out some of that color, and so this palette will just be those colors. So you can work with them, you know, like that. And so I'm just bringing in some more of that purple, and you can see, you know, they blend into each other really nicely, and because I did use colors that play together well, we're not getting any of the mud that we might get if we were using like warms and cool colors, which you can do. You just have to kind of be a little bit more careful, and I am not that comfortable mixing those colors yet, but that's why we play, and that's why we experiment. And yeah, so you can just add more color where you want it. Like some of it's dried a little bit, I want to brighten it up some more, so I added some more on top. And it's really cool because you can see, I think I go in here in a different area. Oh, I'm adding some splatters here, and but you can kind of see that they're translucent, and you can see like the layer underneath when you put the layer on top, but they're not permanent, so you will get some blending when you do that. You know, like I will start working on this lower left-hand corner, and it's pretty dry, but I'm going to bring some more water in there because I didn't really like the shape of the drips that I got, and so I'm just going to kind of work with them a little bit more and bring them out some more. So yeah, you can kind of see, here you go, or here I'm going right here, and you know, I can wet it, and you saw I used my dry paper towel and I picked up that pigment, so you can definitely rework it to, you know, once it's dry. So it's a typical, I guess I would say typical watercolor, because I have worked with like permanent watercolors before. This is definitely more of your typical watercolor. I'm no professional. I've never taken classes on watercolors per se. I just kind of see what I like and play with what I like, and I, you know, heard about the Daniel Smith watercolors and I really wanted to play with them. They are more of an investment. They are more of a fine art price point, if you want to say. So definitely play with maybe what you have already watercolor wise and see if you really like it. You know, I already knew that I really like watercolors, and I wanted to kind of branch out and step and see how these work. So now I'm just taking some of the Dilutions white linen spray, and I'm taking it out of the bottle and adding some drips and some splatters because I really like that. And now we're going to add this quote, this scripture. It's a rub-on, it's a gold rub-on. It looks so pretty on so many different surfaces. There are 2 sizes that come, I believe, or maybe 3, I think 2. Like there's a large pack and then there's a smaller pack, and this is from the large pack of the gold, and it's really pretty. So it looks like you know, your foil, your gold foil, but it's a rub-on. And so I just burnished it on really good, kind of carefully removing that release paper, and just very slowly so that I can see where I didn't quite rub in the right area, and I can take my little popsicle stick, which it does come with, and rub in that area and make sure that it's all down before I rip it off. And then I actually put it all down once I know it's all, and I will burnish it a little bit more using the full side of the popsicle stick. And I'm just kind of burnishing on very carefully, making sure that it's all nice and on there. And this actually rub-on adheres really nicely to canvas. So there it is. You can see it's really, really pretty. I love how it turned out. Let's see. And you can see the full canvas. And I wanted to add a little bit more gold. I wanted to tie that gold in. So of course, I went to my Dina Wakley Heavy Body Acrylic Paint in the color Gilt because that is my favorite color right now, and actually my favorite gold color, I should say. And I actually just went around with my finger and framed it just lightly, not being particular, not being perfect, just kind of, I guess you could say, distressing the edge a little bit, but just framing it a bit with that gold color. And that pretty much finishes up the canvas, I think. I'm going to go ahead and give you some close-ups here. You can see that really pretty gold color. And I just love how it turned out. This is such a fast, easy project. These would make great gifts. You know, just make some backgrounds. You don't even have to do it on a canvas. You could pull out some watercolor paper and frame it, put it in a really nice frame after you add the rub-on. And it's just super quick and easy. And I think it's fun to make these watercolor backgrounds. So give it a try. If you've been wanting to try watercolors, pull out what you have, do some beautiful washes with your watercolors, and add a rub-on quote on top. I think you'll really enjoy that. For more ideas and inspiration, be sure to follow Blitsy on Facebook, Instagram, and blitsy.com. See you next time.